Okay, we're gonna tie a brown zonker. I already put hook on my vise. This is a Gamakatsu B10S size 4 hook. Be careful when you use these hooks are they're very sharp. I'm going to use some black thread. This is size 6/0. You can use UTC 140. I'm going to lay a base of thread along the hook shank here. I'm gonna get down to about where the bend of the hook starts. I'm gonna cut the excess of the thread off. I am going to get a piece of brown and gray zonker. I'm going to get a piece of brown and gray rabbit strip. I'm going to make this about, two and a half times the length of the hook shank. I'm going to lift the fur up and cut the hide there. And then I'm going to cut the hide in the back at a triangle shape, like so. I'm going to lay the zonker strip over the hook shank. I'm going to pull the air back. You can wet your fingers. You can use your bodkin to pull the air. I'm going to lay it over the hook, and then I'm going to go over with my thread and lock that hide in place right there. I'm going to make sure that's centered. I'm going to move my thread forward. I'm going to get 2 or 3 inches of UV polar chenille in copper. You can use different colors. I'm gonna get, I don't know, 3 inches. I'm gonna bring my thread back here, the base of where the rabbit fur is tied in, and bring my thread forward to about 2/3 down the hook shank. Then I'm gonna palmer the UV polar chenille, and every time I do that, every time I make one turn, I'm gonna pull those fibers back. You can also use ice dab to build this body. Just make sure you brush it to get the fibers off and make that fly look buggier. Again, every time I make a turn, I pull those fibers back. Already, I'm gonna stop at about 2/3 down the hook shank. Go over my thread and lock that polar chenille in place. I'm gonna cut the excess. Go with the thread 2 or 3 times to make sure that's in place and will not come loose. Then I'm gonna get my air clips. I'm gonna clip all that material together so it's out of my way. Now I'm gonna make a dubbing loop with my thread. I'm gonna go around the base of that dubbing loop with my thread to close the dubbing loop. I'm going to apply some wax on my thread. I'm going to get my dubbing spinner tool. I'm going to insert that into the loop, like so. I'm going to get some, maybe an inch and a half of this yellow rabbit strip. You can tie this fly in different color combinations. I'm going to insert the rabbit strip into my dubbing loop. I'm gonna hold that loop in place. I'm gonna reach in with my scissors and cut the eye off. Okay, now I'm gonna make a dubbing loop with my thread. I'm gonna go over with my bobbin holder and close that loop. I'm gonna get my dubbing spinner, insert that into my loop, like so. Apply some wax to my thread. Get about an inch of this yellow rabbit strip, an inch and a half. I'm going to pull the fibers straight out as much as I can. I'm going to insert the rabbit strip into the loop. Then probably this is the most delicate operation, and again, take your time. I'm going to hold the dubbing loop in place with the index finger on my left hand. Then reach in with the scissors and slowly cut the hair and remove the hide off. Then I want to make sure that I adjust the hair to be about the same length. And I'm going to do my darnest to spread it out. Then I'm going to spin my dubbing spinning tool a few times. And that causes the rabbit fur to be wound tightly. So now I'm going to wrap this dubbing loop around the hook shank, and as I do that, I'm going to pull the rabbit hair back. Every time I make a turn, I pull it back. Like so. And my hand in front of it. Then I'm going to use my thread to lock that dubbing loop in place. I'm going to raise it up and cut that loop off. Again, I'm going to grab all the air between my fingers on my left hand, push it back, and secure it in place. Now I can remove my air clip. Pull all that polar chenille down, and then fold rabbit strip over and go over with my thread. And again, make sure that the hide is around the hook shank. And now I secure that in place. I'm gonna reach in with my scissors and cut the hide off. I'm gonna make some tight wraps here to hide that hide. Okay, we're gonna make one more. Let me cut the hair that's sticking out here. We're gonna make one more dubbing loop. And I'm going to use my air clip here to keep all this material together here. So it's as much as possible is out of the way. I'm going to make another dubbing loop. Go over with my thread to lock it in place, like so. I'm going to get my dubbing spinner tool again, apply some wax. I'm going to get that piece of rabbit that I cut from up front. I'm going to insert that into my dubbing loop. Like so. As I did before with the yellow rabbit fur, I'm gonna reach in with my scissors and cut the fur so I can get the hide off, like so. Again, I'm going to gently adjust the fur to be, the same length or the length that I want this to be. I'm gonna spin my dubbing spinner. As I let it go, that rabbit fur is gonna spin as so. Then I'm going to palmer this around. And again, as I do that, I'm going to pull that hair back. I'm going to lift it up, go over with my thread. And lock it in place. I'm going to lift this up and cut my dubbing loop off. I'm going to stroke those fibers back and finish the head of the fly. I'm going to get my whip finisher and whip finish the fly. Cut the thread. I can remove that air clip. And there's a brown zonker. I'm going to find my brush. I want to brush all these materials together. Like so. Okay, as a final touch, I'm going to add some eyes to it.